I built this n8n automation as a quick MVP for a recent client, and honestly, this single project is the exact reason I won the entire consulting contract for 6 straight months. So let's see the demo first, and after I will explain the whole data flow in the automation system. So let's test the system live. Currently, there are two kinds of invoices that are being supported by the system. One was the vendor payments, and another one was the client payments. Vendor payments should be done by us. Let's say vendor will send us the invoices from their side. So we have to be identify those invoices and forward them to our accounting team. So, and the client invoices are completely different. We say we will automatically, I mean, the client will pay the invoices and send us back the completed invoices. So we also should have to acknowledge that. So let's let's try with the vendor payments first. And by the way, this whole automation system was completely, personalized for my own clients, requirement. So if it doesn't make any sense to you, it's fine. Just ignore it. Okay, so the parsing is completed, and in Slack, in the accounting channel, you know, the pending, I mean, the invoice details was automatically parsed and sent to the Slack accountant channel. So the accountant will look at it and will cross verify and clear the payment in time. And obviously, the vendor will be receiving this particular message, automated message after this. Okay, so now let's try with the client, invoice. Okay, okay, and the client invoices will be land in this particular payment deal related issue alerts Slack if there is any issue. So nothing to worry. Okay, currently the payment was automatically synchronized, and the deal was also got you know updated to the closed one. So yeah, everything goes well. And when the client payment was identified and the payment was also being marked as paid, then we will be automatically updating the HubSpot deal over there in our CRM. So yeah, let me explain you how this particular n8n automation system will actually work behind the scenes. So whenever a WhatsApp message is received, it triggers the workflow, and this if node filters the incoming payload from the WhatsApp, only allowing image and document types to pass through, as the invoices are typically formatted as PDFs or images, right? So after that, we request the WhatsApp media metadata to receive a temporary URL, which is then be used by this particular HTTP node to download the actual file using the configured WhatsApp credentials over here. After that, that particular media asset will be downloaded as a binary file, and then we will start preparing the PDF for parsing, right? So for parsing it with the Gemini model, we had to be convert the binary format to the base64 format. So that is kind of prerequisite right here. And this particular node will does exactly that. It will convert the binary field into the base64 format. Okay. And this is currently an essential step, I should say, because the Gemini API currently requires the inline attachments to be base64 only, and it was not supported with binary format currently. So we had to be convert. We shouldn't be skipping this particular step, even though it was easy. So after that, we will start parsing the PDF with Gemini any model. Here I'm using 3.1 flashlight, which was some you know very cheapest model out there, but it does the job well. Okay, and the let me just show you. And it particularly uses a strict system prompt to determine if the file is actually an invoice or not. And it automatically calculates the invoice direction, whether the invoice is payable or receivable, or the particular invoice direction was completely unknown. Okay, and after that we will be clean the output of the Gemini. So, and here the main, important routing logic will be there. After that, we will be check whether it is a valid invoice or not, and we will be only pass. the valid invoices, invoice entries moving forward. Okay. As I told you now, there are three types of the invoice directions, which was payable, either receivable, and the other one is unknown. Okay. See the first route over here, which was nothing but payable, and this particular sub workflow will deals with the payable invoices. So as for that particular workflow, we will be check whether the invoice status is not equal to paid. Okay, so that it will only returns the pending uh, payment invoices to the vendors, right? So if it is a pending payment invoice from a vendor, then we will be search for the HubSpot contact of that particular vendor, and we will be creating a HubSpot task for that particular vendor, and we will be also, replying back with your invoice will be cleared in time, and we will be posting that particular, invoice clearing task to the Slack accountant channel. Okay. So after that, the second route is receivable, which was nothing but the client. The client's invoices will be mostly, marked as receivables. So because of, I mean, this particular sub workflow will deals about that, right? So first of all, we will be search for the HubSpot deals, which was created by that particular customer, and we will be fetching the HubSpot deal data. And if the deal was matched with a particular invoice ID, right? I mean, every invoice will have the invoice ID, right? So we will be filtering out with this filtering logic where, I mean, where that particular deal should be attached to that particular client, and even in there, the invoice ID should be saved in that particular deal. So if the invoice ID should haven't even be, you know found, then there is more chances for a duplicate invoice or some other, loopholes out there. So it will be manually reported back to the Slack. Okay. But if in case the deal was found, it will automatically update the HubSpot, deal status to the closed one, and it will send the message back to the to the WhatsApp to the customer saying that thanks for the payment. That's it. And the last route for this is unknown, which was nothing but the AI the AI model was not can't determine the invoice direction. So then it will simply create a you know particular issue on Slack, and it will create an alert. That's it. So this is how the whole system will work. So that's it for today.